Sam Bennett. Number 26, Handsome Townsend. Number 63, Jackson Hart. Number 66, Cooper Mathis. Number 67, Theron Tyler. Number 71, Jance Carl Jr. Number 72, Brody Fullerton. Henley's looking good coming into tonight.
Yeah, they had a tough week last week. I think that's maybe an understatement against Cascade Christian. I think they were maybe a little bit surprised by what the challengers brought forth to them. And they lost in a pretty big way last week. The good news is that, well, now you get into league play. Those last games you've been playing, you're 1-2. They don't matter all that much anymore because now you get into league play. You want to win your league games. And it starts tonight against Hidden Valley, team who's 0-3. They've struggled a little bit out of the gate. So I think the Hornets, all told, are in good shape tonight despite their loss last week.
I can't think of a better team to start their season against than Hidden Valley for Henley.
Yeah, certainly so. And not only that, they get to get away from home again. This is the third consecutive road game for them, so they're used to being road warriors at this point. They're going into a stadium where, again, let's face it, they're probably favorites here in this game. They just got to play like they know how, play like they have been. Don't let last week rattle you so much, and I think Henley's going to be in good shape tonight.
And as we've mentioned, the last two games away, they're playing on turf, which is not something that they're quite used to. I mean, I'm sure they've gotten more experience in the last two games playing on turf, but they practice on grass.
They certainly do. They'll play a couple of turf games at Mazama during playoff time, so it's good to get on this surface. It also, in some cases, makes you a little bit faster. This turf is a little bit older here at Hidden Valley. It was put up when I was still in high school here, which was about 7 years ago now, 7-8 years ago. So it's on the older side. It's a little bit beat up, but it's still a cleaner, faster surface. And when you got guys who are fast, like Joe Janney, like Jeremiah Brunick, like if you get Connor Shively out into space, he's another guy who's quick. I think the Hornets are going to pose trouble to the Mustangs. And for Hidden Valley, too, they've got some good young players on this team. A team that doesn't have a lot of seniors on their squad. I think a lot of their strength is going to come from their sophomore class, actually. You look at guys like Lawson O'Leary, he's a multi-sport athlete. I believe I see some other guys on here that play basketball as well. I recognize some last names from some kids I went to school with, younger siblings and whatnot. So there's going to be some good athletes on Hidden Valley, but Henley's got to get a chance to get out and be speedy tonight.
All right, we'll be right back. When we come back, we'll take a look at the standings in the Big Sky Conference for football. We'll also take a look at the 4A coaches poll and some of Henley's stats. That's Henley football on 104.3 and 960 Sports on mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Welcome back to Henley High School football. This broadcast is brought live to you from Hidden Valley High School, Evergreen Field, here in Grants Pass, Oregon. Looking around the basin at some of the teams playing tonight, Mazama is at Marshfield. That'll be a good matchup. KU versus Cascade Christian for their homecoming weekend. Bonanza at Illinois Valley, Lost River at Culver, and Chiloquin at Cross Point tonight.
Yeah, everyone's getting their start in league play tonight. You mentioned Klamath Union and Cascade Christian down in the 3A class. Some other games that I like, Chiloquin and Cross Point, a couple of local teams. And Lost River and Culver, that's going to be a good game too. Lost River's the #1 team in the state right now in the 2A classification. Culver's number 6. So some good games going on tonight. I know we typically have some folks text us the scores. It's usually Kevin Petrick's connection. Kevin isn't here tonight. So if anyone has my number and you got scores from around the basin, let me know. Or Kevin, if you're listening, let me know some of these scores because we could definitely use them tonight throughout the broadcast.
Yeah, it's a great night for football tonight. The sun is just setting behind this beautiful mountain range here.
You know, I get a lot of flack for saying this, Walter, but I think this really makes a case for one of the best views in the conference, if not the whole state, with the rolling hills off to the right and the pink skies. It's a beautiful complex here at Hidden Valley High School.
Yeah, if I had a house, this would definitely raise the value by 100,000 or something.
Hey, my parents live here, and we got a nice view of the hills out on her property, too, so I very much like it.
That's cool. All right, we'll take a break for the national anthem and be back with the league conference standings and some Henley stats to analyze before going into this game. This is Henley High School football on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games, all around the county. Specifically when you're working with dancers, right? We've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome back to another edition of Henley Football. We come to you live from Evergreen Field here at Hidden Valley in Grants Pass, Oregon. Tonight, hosts the matchup between Henley Hornets and the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Henley goes into this game 1-2 overall, 0-0 in league standing. Hidden Valley comes into this game 0-3, 0-0 in league standing. So neither of these two teams have played league games. They're facing each other for the first time this season.
Yeah. Everyone around the state's pretty much starting league this week. So it's, like I said, it's a fresh slate for both teams. As much as Henley wants to come out and get back on the right foot from their misstep last week, Hidden Valley's in the exact same boat. They also started 0-3 in their non-conference play. But as you begin tonight, everyone is 0-0. That's the column everyone's looking at. And if you can come out tonight 1-0, you're undefeated. So that's what these teams are looking to accomplish tonight.
All right, so we already took a look around the basin at other teams that are playing. Let's take a look at the 4A coaches poll and see where they're ranking these teams. Cascade comes in at first. Scappoose comes in at second. Number 3 is Tillamook. Number 4 is actually a tie between Marshfield and Staten. Number 6 is Henley, just outside the top 5. Number 7 is Estacada. Number 8 is Marist. Number 9 is Philomath. And number 10 is Sweet Home.
So there on that list, we see a team we've already played this season in Marist. They're number 8. See a team that we're going to play later on this season, Marshfield at number 4, and a team that Henley beat last year in the semifinals, Cascade, is number 1. A lot of familiar faces in that top 10.
Well, when you make the playoffs, you get to know a lot of teams because you play a lot of teams outside of your conference.
Yeah, certainly so, and the Hornets are no stranger to the playoffs.
All right, we'll be back after a small break with more pregame action here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Clown Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Clown Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Welcome back to Henley football here on MyBasin.com. We're about to get things underway as the Hornets are about to kick it off to the Hidden Valley Mustangs.
Yeah, I believe Henley won the toss. They deferred, so they're going to be receiving in the second half tonight. That's typically what we've seen the Hornets do. And so Mustangs back to receive to begin this ball game. It's a wonderful night for football, Walter.
Yeah, absolutely it is. The Mustangs start this game with blue jerseys with orange accents and white numbers, whereas the Hornets, start with white jerseys and yellow numbers. They'll start a little squib kick, maybe an onside kick here for the Hornets, and the Mustangs jump on it at around the 40-yard line, so that's where they'll start this drive.
Yeah, trying to go for the onside kick there. Good awareness by Ursus Moves, who was able to fall on that one. I believe it skipped over his head, but was able to recover in time. And now after that onside kick, Hidden Valley gets pretty decent starting field position to start their first drive of the ball game.
Yeah, absolutely they do. They've only scored 26 in their last 3 games, so I'm sure that Henley's not too worried about them this drive.
Well, yeah, you always got to be worried first drive of the game. You've only seen these guys on film. A lot of times you got guys, like I said, speed from Hidden Valley. You never know until you actually get on the field with them. This first drive is going to be important.
Combs in the backfield for Hidden Valley. He'll opt to keep it himself, goes up the middle. He's met by about 6 Henley defenders, gains of about 2 yards, and he'll start around the 41-yard line for 2nd and 8.
Tried to go for a little read option there, and quarterback wound up keeping it, tucked it and run, and made it upfield all right, but those holes closed up pretty quickly for the Henley defensive front. Walter, the Henley defensive front got pushed around a little bit last week, so good to see them stopping it for a short gain there.
Yeah, we've mentioned Henley's got some pretty big guys there, so it's going to be tough to run it up the middle on them.
It certainly is. We saw Cascade Christian try to go outside a lot last week.
Hidden Valley lining up with 2 receivers out wide to the right, 1 to the left. They'll hand that one off. In motion for Hidden Valley is Davis, and he brings it up to around the 45-yard line. First down, Hidden Valley.
Well, there you go. An example of the Mustangs trying to go outside like we just talked about. A classic jet sweep to Davis. Got around that right corner and upfield. Good enough for a Mustangs first down. Now into Henley territory.
Yeah, that's exactly what we saw out of Cascade Christian last week. They played everything outside, around the outside of the field. So Hidden Valley will line up 3 receivers out wide to the left, 1 to the right. Combs lines up with the running back to his left side. He'll roll back to pass it, rolls out to the left side. He's got pressure. He'll throw that to a man. Excuse me, that was number 5, Cross.
Looked almost like a screenplay there, but the Henley defensive front got in the backfield way too quick. At least for Hidden Valley's benefit, their quarterback was forced to throw that one, I think, a little bit sooner than he wanted to. And that brings up 2nd and 10.
Okay, so Hidden Valley will line up 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Combs has Sparlin to his right side. He'll receive the snap, take it up the right side, finds a hole, brings it up around 5 yards, bringing up 3rd and 5 at around the 40-yard line.
Another option play that time for the Mustangs. That time, instead of a handoff option, it was a pitch to the outside man. Quarterback still wound up keeping it. He's wanting to keep that football, do it himself early. That was a good play. About split the distance, too. 3rd and manageable here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, so about 3rd and a long 4 for the Mustangs as they'll line up. Combs with Sparlin to his left. A little bunch on the left side, 1 out wide to the right. He'll keep that one again. And I think he's a little bit short of the first down. It's going to be about 4th and 1.
Yeah, he looks real close. I think you're right, though. He is short, but just another option play up the middle. Hidden Valley content to try to keep the Hornets guessing, but they're doing a good job of trying to close off that edge. Forcing the quarterback up the middle that time was the right play, and yeah, you're exactly right, Walter. They stopped him short, bringing up 4th down.
So the Mustangs will go for it with around 9 minutes and 27 seconds left on the clock. They're both tied 0-0. They line up 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Combs is alone in the backfield this time. Looks like an audible. They'll change the play on this one. Combs receives the snap, plunges forward into the massive bodies. We'll see if they got it on forward progress.
I think he did. Looking at where the near side official is, it looks like he's right over that marker. So that was just a straight-up QB power play for the Mustangs there, and it earns them a first down.
First down, Mustangs. 9 minutes and running on the clock. 0-0 still.
They're engineering a nice little drive here against Henley's defense to start this game. They can keep ball control, something that we want to keep track of this game. They look to be in good shape here early.
Combs lines up with Sparlin to his right side. He'll roll back to pass. That's good. He'll find a man. He's going. He's still running. He's up to the 15-yard line, and he's brought down by the Hornets.
That was Lawson O'Leary on the reception there for the Mustangs. One of the guys I highlighted in the pregame show, Walter. He's a sophomore, but he's a multi-sport athlete. That time, just finding the soft spot in the defense, was able to just come back on a short little curl route, complete the pass, and then he had a ton of yards after the catch, just maneuvering through the Hornets defense. Thankfully saving a touchdown, but the Mustangs knocking on the door of adding points here in the first quarter.
The Mustangs will line up 2 out wide to the right, 2 to the left, 2 by 2. They've got Rollins in the backfield with Combs, and that's who they'll hand it off to. That's Sparlin, and he's brought down for a loss at around the 25-yard line. Great play for Henley defense.
Yeah, coming up out of the bottom of that pile, I see Brody Fullerton, freshman, 6'1", up front there for Henley. He's a guy who wasn't getting a lot of time at the beginning of the season, but through hard work and practice, freshman's getting a start here in a league game tonight, and that time making a tackle for loss and a nice job, 2nd and long.
Yeah, 2nd and long with 7 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock. They've had this ball for about 4.5 minutes so far.
Been a very long drive. Henley's defense been on the field for a while.
Yeah, they've had 6 plays, and 2 first downs. This time Combs rolls out to his right side. He's brought down, shoestring tackle, but he gets it off just before that, intercepted by Henley.
Then they popped it free. There was a fumble and a flag on the play over there too. There's madness on the far sideline. Now another late flag. Boy, oh boy, we're going to take a moment here to sort this out. We've also got a player down on the field. Want to make sure that everyone's okay, but that was a pretty hectic play for our officials to try to work out here tonight.
Well, when you talk about Cowboy Country, Henley and Hidden Valley both come into mind when you talk about that.
Hey, yeah, Skyline Conference, some of the more rural schools around here. I think these two schools get compared a lot because of kind of where they are in comparison to their town, right? You think Klamath Falls. Well, Henley, I think they'd consider themselves more in Altamont or Henley, right? I mean, you look at Google Maps and addresses, it's labeled as Henley out there. Here at Hidden Valley, we're not technically in Grants Pass. We're technically in Murphy. It's a little bit of a kind of a township issue here around here. So they get a lot of comparisons. And, you know, as someone who went to Hidden Valley High School, I can see the comparisons. I really do. So I think it's a friendly rivalry between these guys. I hope it stays friendly at the very least.
You happy to be back at your alma mater?
I always like coming back here, seeing the friendly faces that I knew, at least what's left of them. It's been some time now. But, you know, I always like coming back here, so it's nice.
Combs being helped off the field as the sun is just starting to set here at Hidden Valley High School.
It's a very nice temperate night. It's, about 59 degrees, going to get down to the low 50s tonight. Calling it the Climate City, Walter. The weather can change on a dime, but it's a great climate around here.
Spoken like a true homegrown.
Oh, man, I do like Grants Pass quite a bit. So it's always nice to get back here.
Okay, so 7 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. Hidden Valley is in the red zone.
Let's see, it looks like we finally got our official designation as well. So we got a face mask tackle against Hidden Valley. We've got a personal foul against Hidden Valley. And I'm going to say, and so yes, Henley gets the ball as well. So the interception is good. Those penalties come after the fact on the Mustangs, and so they get to bring the ball out a little bit as well. So Hornets have it. After that interception, they'll take it 1st and 10 up in the, well, depending on where they place it, it could be up past the 40.
Wow, that drive looks so good for Hidden Valley.
I got to give credit. I think it was Jackson Hart in the backfield for the Hornets. He was the guy chasing the quarterback, got him down around his ankles, forced the quarterback into a bad throw, which wound up getting picked off. So that starts with good play up front. Now the Hornets offense takes over.
All right, so the Hornets will line up. 1 receiver out wide to the left, 3 to the right. They've got Brunick in the backfield with Janney, and that's who they held it off to. He goes up, gains about 6 yards. Almost all after contact.
Yeah, he is an angry runner, and if it starts early, teams are in trouble. Last week, Brunick carried the ball 13 times for 87 yards, and so he is a very key component to this offense.
Yeah, so the sun is pretty much set now. Cold's starting to set in. Got our electric vests here. Shout out Basin Media Active.
Gotta love the electric vest. You know, only took 1 week from us to go to like 75 to 55. So it's football weather now.
The Hornets line up 3 to the right, 1 to the left. A whistle blown on the field.
Well, we've got a coach out here for Hidden Valley. I think looks like a player might be a little bit banged up and is reluctant to come off the field, it seems. But, yeah, they're going to have to work on him. So I think we're ready to go.
All right, so as I was saying, 3 out wide to the right, 1 to the left for Henley. Brunick in the backfield with Janney. They'll set up. They'll put a man in motion. That's Montag. They'll hand that one off to Brunick again. Angry runner, as we said. He'll pick up around 3 yards on the play.
I think he might have got it.
Probably got it. And they will say that he got it.
Good run there by Brunick.
First down, Henley in 2 plays. Both handoffs to Brunick. First down this game for Henley.
Henley played behind the sticks a lot last week. So even though we're 2 plays deep, it's good to see them moving forward instead of backward. So Hornets on a drive here.
3 to the right, 1 to the left for Henley. Janney fires to his right side, a little bit of a screen action for Reyes. And he's brought down, steps out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. Big gain for Henley. It's about 20 yards. and they're into the red zone.
Big game there. Got to give some credit to the nitty-gritty guys doing the work on that play. Kai Montag threw a great block here on the near side. Freed Reyes to skate up the sideline a little bit. That was a good block by the tight end Montag to get a first down.
So they're into the red zone early after 3 plays on this drive. Janney will line up with Brunick to his right. Trips to the left for Henley and 1 to the right. Brunick decides to run it out the left side. Finds a hole. First down, almost into the end zone.
There is a flag here around the 15-yard line. Thought I might have seen a hold from Henley on that side, but we'll see what the official says. He pops out the backfield. Yep, there it is, holding against the Hornets. Thought that might have been Bakke there on the far side, so they'll bring this one back. Still have decent field position, but looking like it's going to be about 1st and 15 or so.
1st and 15 for the Hornets with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first quarter here in this game. They're still tied 0-0, but Henley's knocking on that door.
Yeah, they're in good position here. They started with good field position, and so now just trying to capitalize on it, something they weren't able to do a lot last week. In the first quarter, they turned the ball over on downs in the red zone twice. Can't let that happen here.
Henley lines up with trips to the right, 1 out wide to the left. Janney takes the snap, hands off to Brunick, makes it up to about the starting marker, and 2nd and 10 for the Hornets.
Junior David Cross on the tackle there for Hidden Valley. Brunick lowered the shoulder on him, but Cross stood him up, made a nice tackle there to stop him from getting any extra yardage after contact. 2nd and long here for Henley.
The clock is running. 5 minutes and 3 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. Henley looks to score. They have not thrown once this game, unless you're counting that screen play, but that was behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think they still went as a forward pass, but yeah, they've been going a lot of short plays here, short, quick plays against the Mustangs.
Janney takes the snap, looks for the screenplay, doesn't see it, keeps it, takes it himself, finds a big hole, isn't touched, and makes it into the end zone. Touchdown Henley with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left on the clock. Henley leads 6-0.
Great job there by Joe Janney. He looks to his right to see if there's an open man. There's no one there. Looks straight up the middle. There's the hole. Go right through it, blink and you miss it, and a touchdown for Joe Janney.
Looking to kick it off, looking to kick the PAT for Henley is Reyes. Janney takes the snap, holds it. It's through the uprights. 7-0. Henley leads now with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll be right back with more first quarter action in Henley football here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Yeah, go for it. That helps you with your timing.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome back to Henley football. Henley just scored, making it 7-0 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Henley set to kick it off to the Mustangs.
Joe Janney able to punch in that touchdown. It was, about 15 or so yards out there from Henley. And so a good scoring drive. Now you got to stop Hidden Valley. The Mustangs put a good drive together last time. They just turned it over with an interception. Like to see a little bit of a stronger stand from the Hornets on defense this time.
So that drive was 7 plays and 2 first downs for Henley, and they scored. Henley set to kick off. The kick is up into the end zone, and Hidden Valley will start it around the 20-yard line.
That was a great kick. I think that's the first, one of the first touchbacks we've seen from Balzati so far this season. Junior there for the Hornets. Nice boot.
So Hidden Valley will start at the 20-yard line with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter still. Henley leads 7-0.
I got our inside source for scores with me tonight, Walter Lewis, sending me text messages. Appreciate you. League score here for the Big Sky Conference. Ashland playing North Bend tonight. Just over 8 minutes left to go in the first quarter. It's the Grizzlies who lead North Bend 13-7.
Wow. Good for Ashland.
Yeah, certainly so. And Hornets got North Bend next week, so we'll keep tabs on that score.
Okay, so in to play quarterback for the Mustangs is O'Leary. O'Leary takes the snap. He'll hand that one off to Sparlin. Takes it up the right side and gains about 2.5, 3 yards for the Mustangs.
Mustangs quarterback went out a little bit earlier with some kind of injury, but Mustangs so far running a more option-heavy offense. So if you can have a quarterback back there who makes the right decisions, in this offense he doesn't have to have a cannon of an arm, or so it seems so far. So I think Leary is going to be an interesting look, although the Hornets probably won't have to adjust the game plan all that much to take care of him.
Yeah, what we've seen from the Mustangs so far, they've mostly kept it on the ground.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of option plays on offense. They're trying to keep the Hornets guessing, which if that's how you're going to do it, that's one strategy for sure.
O'Leary takes the snap, snaps high. He'll hand that one off to Sparlin. Up the left side, finds a hole, brought down after crossing the first down marker, down at around the 32-yard line.
Got a flag on that play. I'm going to see exactly what this one is. It's a good block here on the near side from Hidden Valley, but not sure if maybe there was something on the other side that might bring this one back. Let's see. It's a block in the back, actually, from Hidden Valley, so not quite a hold. It's going to keep it second down.
Okay, so about 2nd and 5? Is that what we're seeing?
I think they're going to bring it back a full 10 from where the penalty was. So it looks like 2nd and 9 or so.
Okay. 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs. At around the 21-yard line, they'll start this play with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Henley leads 7-0. O'Leary will line up with Sparlin to his left, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, 2 by 2. O'Leary takes the snap, hands that one off to Sparlin. He'll go up the middle with that one and just get back to the line of scrimmage.
Good job by Henley's defensive front, getting through that initial point of contact with a Hidden Valley offensive line. They just created kind of a cubby for the running back to go right into the swarm, and down he goes. 3rd down here for Hidden Valley. This is something that's going to be important for Henley, though, is that how they do in 3rd down. Last week, they allowed Cascade Christian to convert 80% of their 3rd downs. So this is going to be important here for Henley.
Wow, that's a great stat. Thanks, Josh. The Mustangs will line up 3 to the right, 1 to the left in terms of receivers. O'Leary lines up with Sparlin to his left side in the backfield. This time he won't hand it off. He'll opt to keep it himself. There's men in the backfield for Henley, and he's brought down to the line of scrimmage. So gain of nothing, 4th and 6.
Yeah, Trapper Kundal in on the action. I believe that's Handsome Townsend as well there for Henley, getting into the backfield. And a nice job. And, well, it looked like an option to me again, but O'Leary not quite selling that option all the way. The Hornets sniffed it out, and they caught him at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive play.
Okay, so Hidden Valley's in their own territory at their own 25 with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock. It's 4th down. They'll opt to punt it. Back to receive for the Hornets. I believe that's Montag.
You gotta take small steps, get a full marching band. Baby steps.
Yeah, someone stationed about the 30, someone up front about the 45 on this side of midfield. Here we go.
The Mustangs snap that one. It's a high punt. They'll fair catch that one around the 35-yard line. Not bad field positioning for the Mustangs as they just scored. So they'll start around the 35-yard line with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a really good punt, actually, from Hidden Valley. It was about 45 yards through the air for the punt on that one. So with Hidden Valley in the spot that they were, to make Henley have to start on the other side of midfield, it looks like officially the 37. Not a bad punt at all there for the Mustangs.
Okay, so the Mustangs will start around the 37-yard line. They'll have about 2.5 minutes until the timer runs out, and they'll start on the other side of the field for the second quarter. The Hornets line up with 3 receivers out wide to the right, 1 to the left. Janney sets his feet and fires. It's off the hands of Shively. Must have been the cold weather.
Yeah, that one hit him right in the hand. Shively had a whole zip code to himself here on the near sideline. Those are ones you really feel like you got to catch. Just a simple flat route. I don't think that the Hornets are going to shy away from that still going forward, but that was certainly a catchable ball. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, if you see a team with mostly a run game, it's kind of nice to feel them out in the pass game to see if their DBs and secondary are as good at coverage.
Yeah, no, certainly right.
They'll hand that one off. That's Shively on the sweep. Gain of about 5 yards, 3rd and 5 for the Hornets.
Yeah, that was actually Trapper Kundal. No worries there, Walter, as the running back out of the backfield. Just a simple dive play up the middle, and good gain on 2nd down. 3rd and manageable here for Henley. Walter, I said Cascade Christian converted on 80% of their 3rd downs last week. Henley was 3 of 11 on their own 3rd downs last week on offense. They want to see that number increase. A good opportunity here, 3rd and manageable.
So 3rd and 4 for the Hornets. Janney will line up with Brunick to his right. Excuse me, that's Kundal. He'll go up, get the 1st down and more. Brought down at around the 48-yard line. 1st down Hornets with a minute and 40 seconds left in the 1st quarter.
Hornets linemen are doing a great job of making that first block and looking for a second guy to block. That's one thing that they tell you a lot. You make your first block, okay, you can't just stand there. Look for the next guy to hit, and the Hornets offensive line did a great job of starting to block the linebackers and the cornerbacks on that play, earning a 1st down.
Yeah, so 1st down, past the midfield mark. Henley will line up with 2 carriers in the backfield, 1 out to either side, out wide. They'll hand that one off to Brunick. Gains of about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 for the Hornets.
Yeah, wanting an extra blocker there. Maybe sensing Hidden Valley might be sending a blitz. Trying to get tired of the Hornets running on him all this much. But a good play design, and it earned them, I think, what they wanted to. You'll take 5 yards on a carry every time, I'll tell you that much.
Especially on a 1st down.
Oh, yes, no doubt about it.
The Hornets break out of their huddle. They'll line up again. 2 backs in the backfield accompanying Janney. A little bit of a bunch to the left side. 1 out wide to the right. Janney rolls back. Sets his feet. Fires downfield. It's deep. Just overthrown by a couple of feet. 3rd and 6 for the Hornets.
Had his man beat here on the near side. Janney just overthrew him. So they get a second chance here on 3rd down. They've converted once on 3rd down already this drive. So another opportunity for the Hornets here. They've got to convert right about the 44-yard line. Janney completed about 50% of his passes last week for 132 yards. Haven't seen him go deep like that too often tonight, so expect to see it a little bit more as we go on.
The Hornets, 2 out wide to the right, 1 to the left. Janney decides to keep it himself, trucks a man, gets to the 30-yard line. That's a 1st down and more, about 1st down plus 8. And they'll start around the 30-yard line with 50 seconds left in the 1st quarter.
I unfortunately don't have a 53 on the roster here for Hidden Valley, Walter, but he read the option well. He stayed home to try to get Janney, but man, you're not going to catch up to Joe Janney. You just got to feel bad for that instance, and that was a great run by Joe to pick up that 1st down.
Even the player that did meet him, he got a shoulder.
Yes, he did.
All right, Henley lines up 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Flag interrupts the play.
Probably a false start there.
See what they have to say.
Oh, they're going to say offsides. Hidden Valley lined up offside, so I was wrong. I guess that shows me for trying to guess. So we got 1st and 5 coming up.
Well, you'll take that if you're Henley.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm okay with being wrong when it benefits the Hornets.
Okay, so 7 plays into this drive, and 2 3rd down conversions later, they started about 1st and 5 at the 26-yard line. Janney lines up with Kundal to his left side. 1 receiver out wide to the right, 1 to the left. This time he's met in the backfield. Maybe he made it to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up about 2nd and 5.
Jackson Sparlin in on the tackle there. Linebacker wasted no time busting through the line of scrimmage, and they met Kundal right at the point of the handoff, and a good open field tackle. That was good linebacker play that time from the Mustangs. Got to give it up.
No harm, no foul if you're the Mustangs. It's still 2nd and 5. They've got plenty of time to get this 1st down. Janney lines up with Brunick in the backfield. He'll go around the left side. Flag is thrown on the play. He's still running down, stepped out around the 15-yard line there.
That's a gain of about 11 yards, but I don't know if it's going to fully stand. There's holding against Henley, so it's coming back.
Okay. Well, the clock is stopped at around 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Henley leads 7-0 here for this 2nd and 5. Nope, 2nd and 10 now.
It might be 2nd and 15. Yeah, holding is a 10-yard penalty, and if that was right at the line of scrimmage, they're going to walk this one all the way back. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Geez, all right. Well, they started with 1st and 5, ended up with 2nd and 15.
Well, that's how those penalties can come back and hurt you, but you're still in decent field position in Hidden Valley territory. I think this is a situation where you could be looking at a four down territory, and it looks like we're going to let the first quarter expire.
All right, so Henley will let the clock expire, and they'll start on the other end of the field coming into the second quarter. We'll be right back with more second quarter action here on 104.3 and 960 Sports on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome back to another edition of Henley Football. We now enter the second quarter as Henley leads 7-0 and possession of the ball. They started last play with about 1st and 5. And according to penalties, now they're about 2nd and 15.
Yeah, playing behind the sticks, something that they had to face quite a bit last week. So far tonight, though, they've done a good job on third down conversion attempts. That's why I was saying going into a break, I think Henley feels comfortable out four down territory here.
Henley lines up 3 receivers out right to the right, 1 to the left. Janney goes back to pass. It's a little bit short as he had pressure in his face. That'll really bring up a big third down conversion for Henley.
Yeah, certainly so. I want to get a score out there again. I mentioned Cross Point Christian playing Chiloquin tonight, a little 1A Mountain Valley League action. First quarter, Cross Point Christian leads Chiloquin 20-0.
All right, so Henley will take a timeout, and as they take a timeout, we'd like to remind you about one of our sponsors, Pacific Power. The mission of the Pacific Power Foundation is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the past 5 years, the foundation has awarded over $13 million to nonprofit organizations. Howard's Meat Center. Welcome to Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H barbecue. As you step through our doors, you're not just entering a meat center, you're stepping back to a time when the quality of the meat and the depth of the customer service were everything. Check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires on South 6th Street.
I'll tell you something about Howard's Meat Center, Walter. They sell those dog treats. I got a fan of those living in my house. He doesn't pay rent. He eats all the food. He's a good guy, though. I like to keep him around.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's my dog. But, those dog treats are something else down at Howard's.
What flavor are they?
Dog treat flavor, man. I'm not eating them myself. I'll let you try them, though, if you want.
All right, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. Harbor Isles exists to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles. We feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercises classes. Now, I attend Harbor Isles myself.
All right.
And as I've said before probably, they have the cleanest locker room I've ever been to in any gym.
And they've got a bunch of new equipment there, too. They've expanded the pickleball area, too. So, yeah, they've done a lot of good things. I want to interject, Walter. Both officials have kind of been talking to the huddles here for both teams. It's a long conversation for the officials. I don't know if there was warnings issued to the bench. I don't know if there were some words exchanged, but something to keep track of, as that was a long time out. I think there was probably a discussion between captains there, so sometimes the officials take a moment to sort that out. But it looks like we're ready for football. 3rd and long here for the Hornets.
All right, about 3rd and 15 for the Hornets as they start this play. They line up 3 to the right, 1 to the left in terms of receivers. Janney fakes the handoff, fires off to the right side. It's a little bit of a screen play. They'll make the first down and more, stepping out of bounds at around the 18-yard line for the Hornets.
There is a flag down about the 30. I think this one is also coming back. I saw a Hidden Valley player hit the deck when the ball was already in front of him. Could be looking at a block in the back or something of a similar nature here, so we'll see.
Yeah, this is something they saw hinder them against Cascade Christian. The penalties kill.
Yeah, this one's holding. It's going to go backwards, and I think if there's any silver lining here, you get to replay 3rd down, but it's going to be 3rd and forever.
I don't know if that's much of a silver lining because they kind of got the first down already.
Well, at least you don't have to face 4th down here in short, so at least you get another offensive play, maybe 2 if you get some good yardage here. And with Janney alone in the backfield, might be seeing some air under this football.
Yeah, so 2 receivers out wide to the left, trips to the right. Janney lines up alone in the backfield. He'll look downfield, hitch, set his feet, unloads a deep pass that's caught into the end zone. Henley touchdown.
That is what we've been waiting for, a clean connection between Joe and one of his receivers. It's been so tantalizingly close all season long, Walter. I'm so glad to have finally seen a clean connection there. Touchdown, Henley. How sweet it is.
So Henley leads 13-0. Now in the second quarter, 11 minutes and 26 seconds left on the clock. They'll go for the PAT. Okay. So, Rias, I believe that's Rias, yep, set to kick the PAT. It's up and through. 14-0 Henley leads now with 11 minutes and 26 seconds left in the second quarter. We'll be right back with more second quarter action here on mybasin.com, 104.3 and 960 Sports.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Welcome back to Henley football. Henley just scored, making it 14-0 with 11 minutes and 26 seconds left in the second quarter. Almost a full second quarter to go here for these two teams, and Henley leads by 2 touchdowns.
I said it, Walter. Silver lining, Henley got one more offensive play after that penalty, and they made it a good one.
I'm sorry for ever doubting you. Rias kicks that one high up in the air. That's fielded by number 23. There's not a 23 on my roster for Hidden Valley. And they're tackled at around the 12-yard line. Tough field position to start out for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that was really good special teams play by Henley. No pun intended, but they really swarmed to the football there, and they did a good job of bringing that man down before he could make much of a return. That return was only about 7 yards, so Henley doing a nice job there, pinning Hidden Valley back in their own territory.
And a great kick to give their runners time to get to the player.
You always talk about it being a high kick, and that's exactly what they achieved there on that special teams play. Just solid all around. All 3 phases are important. That was a good special teams play.
Okay, so O'Leary will line up with 3 receivers out wide to the right, 1 out wide to the left. He'll hand that one to Sparlin, who will try to find a hole but is met by a Henley Hornet, and he'll make it back up to the line of scrimmage, maybe gain of about half a yard.
Yeah, I want to say I saw Jance Call Jr., senior, 6'2". He's an all-state player up front there. He was being blocked, but he did a good enough job of just closing the gap on that play, forcing the runner to come outside to the near side, had no room to go, and stopped him short of any gain on that play. Nice job, and that started with Jance up front.
Yeah, it's getting chilly. The wind's picking up here at Hidden Valley High School in Grants Pass.
It's that football weather, Walter. It's time to bundle up.
All right, the Mustangs will opt to go for a 2x2 play, send a man in motion. O'Leary takes the snap. The snap is fumbled. Flag on the play.
False start.
False start. So they'll go back. So they'll start pretty close to the end zone.
Yeah, they're going to walk this one back. It's going to pin him inside the 20. Let's see. What do you call that, about 2nd and 15?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right.
2nd and 15 for the Mustangs as they look to start this drive on the right foot. 10 minutes and 22 seconds and counting left in the second quarter. O'Leary lines up 2x2 again. This time he rolls back, looks to fire, finds a man wide open, and they'll get the first down on that play. What a play for Davis.
Yeah, Davis really jumping up there to bring in that pass. That was a nice catch. Credit where credit is due. A first down for the Mustangs and a really fine catch by Davis across the middle. Henley's going to have to close up that gap across the middle of the field. The Mustangs have been able to find it a couple times here so far this game.
Okay, so it looks like Barnes is playing quarterback for the Mustangs. He takes the snap, hands that one off to Sparlin, met by the whole Henley front line there behind the line of scrimmage. Not brought down, but is stopped on forward progress.
Yeah, good play up front by Henley. Walter, I was listening to the Hidden Valley Band, and as their team is moving downfield, they're playing the Emperor's theme music from Star Wars. You'd think they'd want to play a Jedi theme when their team has the ball. Aren't they the good guys here? Oh, man. These guys got to straighten out their Star Wars lore around here, Walter, I just got to say.
Well, maybe things are different when you're out here in Grants Pass.
I guess so.
All right, they'll line up with 3 receivers out wide to the left, 1 to the right. Barnes takes the snap, fires, incomplete. 3rd and 10 there for the Mustangs.
Jordan O'Driscoll was the intended target there for Hidden Valley. Just again, kind of running a flat here to the near side. Didn't quite line up with where their quarterback threw it, and truth be told, wouldn't have had a lot of room to go after the catch either. So Mustangs here facing 3rd and 10. Important here for Henley's defense to get off the field. Like I said, something they struggled with last week. Get off the field, get your offense back to football. They've been humming. This is a big 3rd down play here for the Henley D.
Okay, so Barnes will line up with 3 receivers out wide to his left, 1 to the right. He'll roll back, fires. That's intercepted by Henley. He's going 5, 10, excuse me, to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. That's how the football field works. 20-0. Henley now leads with 8 minutes and 56 seconds left on the clock. That was Jacob Bakke with the pick 6.
Bakke with the pick 6, but credit to the man who's not in the scorebook for that play. Again, the freshman Brody Fullerton applying hard pressure to the quarterback, made him throw a bad pass under pressure. Now look, there is a flag down over by the 20, so we've got the officials talking midfield again. Both teams are huddled around. They put the touchdown up on the scoreboard here, so we'll have to see. Not entirely certain. Matt Green is discussing things with the officials as well. It's another one of those things we got to sort out down there. Here we go.
Yeah, there's been a lot of flags this game.
Okay, so it looks like it was a personal foul of some variety, or maybe hold against Hidden Valley, and that will be applied to the kickoff. And so touchdown is good. It's 20-0 Henley, just inside of 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, and a chance to add another on an extra point here.
Okay, so Rias set to kick the PAT, excuse me, for Henley. He's 2 for 2 so far this game. Looking at a 3rd. That one's up and through again. 21-0. Henley leads with 8 minutes and 56 seconds left on the clock in the second quarter. We'll be right back on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Welcome back to Henley Football, brought to you live here from Hidden Valley High School. The Hornets just scored, making it 21-0 with 8 minutes and 56 seconds left till half. And boy, am I really thinking it's going to get cold tonight.
Walter, you say it's getting cold. It's been cold, my friend. I mean, look, here's the other thing to think about, too. Over here in the Rogue Valley, usually about 10 degrees warmer than it is back in Klamath. We're going back to Klamath in 2 weeks, middle of October. You're going to need a heck of a lot more than just one heated vest when we go back to Henley High School.
I need some mittens. Rias set to kick off for the Hornets. That one's high and to the right side in the end zone again. Touchback. The Mustangs will start at the 20-yard line again.
Yeah, good job by Rias to boot that one through the end zone. Remember, Henley got that extra 10 yards on that kickoff, actually kicking off from their own 45-yard line. From the Mustangs' 45-yard line because of that 10-yard penalty. So able to take advantage of it, boot it through the back of the end zone, and pin Hidden Valley back to starting at their own 20. Again, it was a defensive touchdown for Henley last time out, the pick six, and it all started up front, as it always does. Looking for more good D-line play here from the Hornets.
Yeah, it was a 5-play, 3-penalty drive for the Mustangs, and Henley just able to take it to the end zone. That was Bakke with a great pick six. The Mustangs line up with 3 to the right, 1 to the left. They'll hand that one off up the middle, and he doesn't gain anything on that play. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, pardon me. It looks like Hidden Valley might have a new player operating at the quarterback position. I think that's William Barnes.
Yes.
Number 2 back there. So, they went away from what O'Leary was doing. They got to try a couple of different guys back there. But like I said, they run that option. So if they can continue to do that cleanly, don't need a guy to throw a ton, just need a guy who makes the right decisions.
Yeah, so Barnes will line up with a 2-by-2 play. They'll send a man in motion in a sweep, and that's who they handed off to. That was Davis with the carry. Gain of about 3 yards, 3rd and 7 here for the Mustangs with 8 minutes and 3 seconds left till half.
And that was a delayed sweep handoff, too. The wide receiver, I'm not sure if it was designed that way, but it was certainly a late sweep, and the Hornets doing a good job of reacting. I see Shively there on that far side. I think Bakke was over there as well to close off the edge and not let the Mustangs get too far upfield, facing 3rd and medium.
Okay, so 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs. They've got 3 out wide to the right, pretty spaced out. 1 to the left there by the sideline. Barnes takes the snap, rolls out to his right side, got a ton of pressure from Henley, about 3 guys on him. He'll throw that one. They'll complete the pass, but he catches it out of bounds. They'll say incomplete, 4th and 5 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Mustangs doing everything they could on that play. Barnes running for dear life. He got the pass off, but unfortunately his man not able to get 1 foot in bounds. Brings up 4th down. Walter, I want to get one score out there real quick. Couple of top 10 teams in the state of Oregon at the 4A class right now, midway through the 2nd quarter. Sweet Home and Marist tied at 7.
Wow. Okay, so Hidden Valley 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. They'll set to punt again. Last punt was pretty good for the Mustangs.
Yeah, about a 50-yarder.
So they'll send in some guys. Back to receive for the Hornets at around the 30-yard line is Shively, I believe. The punt is kicked strongly, a little bit low though, and kicks up at around the 20-yard line where it's fielded. They'll bring that one up to the 30, 35. That's where he steps out of bounds. That's Rias with the carry.
All things told, great return by Rias. That punt was really good by Hidden Valley. Took really fortunate bounces on the sides of the Mustangs. Rias picked it up at around the 20 and brought it up about 15 more yards. He had to pick that one up off the turf, though, so good return by Rias, giving his team decent starting field position in the second quarter.
Yeah, so Henley will start at around the 35-yard line with about 7 minutes and 11 seconds left to go.
Henley scored on their last offensive possession with that big, deep pass, like we said last time, Walter. Expect them to try to run the football, maintain possession a little bit. Remember, they also get the ball after halftime, too.
Okay, so Henley will line up 3 receivers out wide to the right, spaced out, 1 to the left. That's Rias, and in a sweep, he'll go off the right side. Good blocks for Henley. He's up to the first down marker, and that's where he's thrown out of bounds. Henley will start this next play at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10, with 7 minutes and 1 second left on the clock.
Good blocks is exactly right. Brian Vaughn, a wide receiver, throwing a good block on that play for Henley, and a nice carry by Rias. Looks like they're waving off a flag. There was a flag thrown. They're waving it off, and it should be a first down for the Hornets, I believe. There
it is. First down at the 45-yard line for the Hornets. They've got 3 receivers out wide to the left, 1 to the right. Janney in the backfield, accompanied by Brunick. And that's who they handed off to. Brunick, big hole, trucks a man, keeps going about 4 yards after contact, picks up the first down, and is down at around the 42-yard line. 6 minutes and 39 seconds left on the clock.
Get you a man who can do both. Brunick runs angry when he can. That time, not to be a little bit overzealous, but kind of like a gazelle, really prancing through that line of scrimmage, getting around guys when you need to. That was a real graceful run from Brunick. Good enough for a Hornets first down. He can do a lot of different things out there, Walter, and he's showing off tonight.
He kind of had a little hop like a jackrabbit there.
Exactly, all different kinds of animals. We can keep it going. He looked like a hornet out there, Walter. That's what he looks like.
A stinger.
Yeah.
All right, 3 to the right, 1 to the left in terms of receivers for Henley. They'll send a man in motion. Back the other way, that's Montag to block for Brunick, who they'll hand it off to again. Gain of about 8 yards on this play. 3 plays, 2 first downs later, and it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Hornets.
Yeah, that was, like you said, Montag going in a little bit of motion there, wound up putting on a good block there to allow Brunick to trudge up the middle. Good yardage on first down. Love those runs from Brunick.
And the clock will keep on ticking. 5 minutes and 35 seconds left in the second quarter. Henley leads 21-0 against the Hidden Valley Mustangs. They'll line up a bunch out wide to the right, little trips. 1 out wide to the left, near the sideline. Janney will line up with Brunick to his right side. They'll send Kai Montag in to block again. This time they'll opt for the screen play. They'll pick up the first down and a couple yards after.
I think that was Vaughn on the reception there. It looks to be him. Made a catch in the open field and lost a man on defense as well. Nice little juke move to get around to the outside and get his team a first down. Like that play there from Vaughn, and the Hornets have it into Hidden Valley territory.
Henley looking good this drive. They've got 4 plays. 3 of them were first downs.
Yeah, that's a recipe for success for sure.
All right, so Henley will line up 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Janney lines up with, I think that's Kundal. Nope, that's Brunick in the backfield. He'll fake the handoff, go a screen to Montag, finds a big hole, good blocking, and is brought down by the safety at around the 11-yard line. Another first down, 5 plays, 4 first downs for Henley.
You have some guys downfield as receivers there, but Janney doing a good job of just dumping it off to Montag there. Kind of operates as a safety valve that way in your tight end. You can get it to him. Montag's been shorthanded this season. I've liked the way he's played the tight end position. He's been a good varsity addition to this Hornets team. Montag, a junior, 185 pounds, number 2 out there in the white and yellow.
So Henley will line up. They've got trips to the right. 1 man in the backfield to accompany Janney. And that's who they hand it off to. That's Kundal. Finds a hole. Tries to go around the outside because it was plugged up by the Mustangs, and he's brought down after 1 yard of game.
Riley O'Bannon getting a hand on the runner there for Hidden Valley. Did a nice job trying to bring him down for a short gain. Yeah, I mean, they're making contact with the guys for Henley. It's just always a challenge to bring them down in that first point of contact, but that time Hidden Valley doing a good job of it. 2nd and about 9.
So Janney will line up with Kundal to his right side, trips out wide to his right in terms of receivers, one out wide to his left. This time he'll throw. That's Reyes with the reception. He's running and he's got the touchdown. Touchdown Henley, making it 27-0 with 3 minutes and 21 seconds left until half.
That was a great play there by Reyes. Didn't have to catch it too far upfield. Might have only been 5 or 6 yards, but he took it to the house himself. Got a good block downfield. Couldn't quite make out who that was, but a nice job there from Henley. They'll review that one in film session. That gets an A+. That was a great job there for the Hornets.
Yeah, that's got to be exactly what they've practiced all week long.
Just making those simple passes. Again, something they struggled with last week that they're fixing this week, right? That's something that you want to take after a tough loss. What can you fix? Henley seems to be fixing a lot of things here tonight.
Reyes kicks that one after being 3 for 3. It's blocked. They will not get the extra point on this one, and we'll be right back with more second. Excuse me. Let's talk about GINO'S Cafe.
There we go.
GINO'S Cafe on East Main Street is open every morning at 6:30, serving their famous breakfast burritos. They're served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. Order online at iloveginos.com or on DoorDash.
You know, Wednesday night, Walter, I'm going to be down at GINO'S, our weekly show on the station, Ballin' in the Basin, of which you were a guest this last week. Thanks again for coming down. But we're going to be at GINO'S on Wednesday night. 6 o'clock is showtime, so come on out. It's Wing Wednesday, $1 wings. I want to invite people to come on out and join us this evening, or Wednesday evening for Ballin' in the Basin down at GINO'S.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to try one of their breakfast burritos the other week.
Okay.
And I thought it was kind of nice that they had the option to go half burrito or full burrito.
There you go.
Because if someone is watching their macros, watching their calories for the day, it's nice to have half a breakfast burrito and maybe some chicken breast on the side.
That's the truth. And I'll take the other half of your breakfast burrito.
Yeah. Donations start here.
Yeah.
All right, Reyes will kick off for Henley. The Mustangs again in their blue jerseys with orange highlights. Henley with white jerseys and yellow pants. The kick is up. It's fumbled. Picked up again, brought up the middle, up to around the 25-yard line. And the Mustangs will start at the 25-yard line.
Sophomore Noah Kimball on the return there for Hidden Valley. Yeah, it kind of hit his hands and bounced off. That could be a product of cold weather. Those hands start to get a little harsher. That leather starts to get firmer a little bit down there as the temperature drops. And he was able to pick it up and bring it up for a decent return, kind of like what Reyes did last time for Henley. So nothing to be too upset about. 1st and 10, Hidden Valley.
Yeah, I was going to talk about last week. The weather wasn't this cold and Henley had trouble receiving. This week, they've got no problems.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They haven't had many issues receiving the football at all.
All right, they'll hand that one off to Sparlin. It's ripped out of his hands by Shively. He's into the end zone. Fumble 6 for Henley. We'll see what the refs have to say about this one.
I don't see any flags down there. I think that's a touchdown for the Hornets. Their second defensive touchdown of the night. A scoop and score. And you said, I believe that was Shively. And nice job there by the Hornets. They're up 33-0.
Yeah, so the Hornets lead 33-0 with 3 minutes and 7 seconds left till half. Great first half for the Hornets. It's got to be what they were waiting for after a long week of practice.
Yeah, you love to break free like this after what was probably a long week on the practice field. And they still got some time to build on it here as well before halftime if the defense stands up tall.
Reyes puts that one through now, 4 for 5 in PAT attempts. All right, let's talk about some more of our great sponsors. Abby's Legendary Pizza. Looking for a great place to eat? Head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin. 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shallock Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza, a proud supporter of high school sports.
Henley's cheerleaders making the trip tonight, Walter. That's always nice to see when the cheerleaders can get out on the road as well. We got a big crowd for them to cheer for tonight as well. We got, quite a few Hidden Valley fans. Obviously, their student section is packed up pretty nicely. But a lot of fans here tonight. It's always a good turnout in Murphy, and it looks like fans are still showing up tonight. It's a fun atmosphere this evening, and it's, well, at least so far, a good night to be a Hornets fan.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised that there's more cold weather fans than there were warm weather fans. It seems like everything's flip-flopped tonight.
Oh man, this is what we're built for. This is what we got. We got a lot of beanies out here. This is what it's about.
It's not football if my hands aren't freezing.
That's the truth.
Rice kicks that one up. It's high and away. This time it's fielded off the hands again. Up to the 10, the 15. Hit hard at around the 17-yard line, and that's where they will start this drive. So Hidden Valley will start the 17-yard line with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to go, down 34-0 against Henley.
That was Brody Fullerton on the tackle. We said the freshman's name a lot tonight. Walter, Henley has good freshmen, not only here on the football field, but on the volleyball court, on the soccer pitch. These underclassmen have performed so well for the Hornets over multitudes of seasons, and it's good to see another one making some big plays here tonight. They do a great job of developing talent out there at Henley.
Oh, yeah, they do. Derek Cox for their baseball program, Michaela Schroeder
absolutely
for their softball and basketball and volleyball.
You're certainly right.
They'll send a man in motion. This is the Mustangs. They'll hand it off up the middle with Sparlin. Gains about 2 yards. 2nd and 8 for the Mustangs.
I think that was Venegas in on the action on a tackle there for Henley. Nice job by the boys up front. Want to give you another score. Cross Point and Chiloquin. 2 minutes left to go in the first half. The Warriors from Cross Point Christian High School up big, 40-8. And Walter, I said that big 2A game going on tonight between Lost River and Culver, number 1 versus number 6. It's the Raiders of Lost River High School who lead at half, 24-6.
They've got some great athletes out there.
Absolutely. Kellen Dunley, by the way, Lost River just named OSAA Athlete of the Week this last week.
Wow, okay. The Mustangs line up 3 out wide to the left, 1 out wide to the right by the sideline here. They'll hand that one off up the middle, met by Jans. Those big boys up front. They'll gain about 2 yards. 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs.
Like, that's not a bad run for Hidden Valley there. You get a couple of yards on the ground, but at the end of it all, you're still facing 3rd and 5. It's not exactly where you want to be. And also, like you said, inside 2 minutes left to go in the half. We'll see what Hidden Valley decides to do to close out this second quarter.
So, Hidden Valley will line up coming out of their huddle here. They'll have 3rd and 5. They're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions so far this game. Barnes with 2 out wide to his left, 2 out wide to his right. He'll keep it himself. Quarterback keeper to the left side, finds a hole, gains the first down and about 2 yards after. First down Mustangs with about 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go on the clock and running. Remember, Henley gets the ball after half.
Yeah, they absolutely do. So right now, the Hornets don't care about where it is 10 yards upfield. They're trying to stop Hidden Valley from getting, 68 yards here. But that time, though, a good designed run for the quarterback. The running back got out and blocked for him, and it was good enough for a 7-yard gain. Mustangs don't have a lot of time to run that play again here in this quarter, but look for that to become a part of their game plan in the second half.
Barnes lines up for the Mustangs with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left by the sideline. He's got Sparlin in the backfield with him, and that's who they'll hand it off to. Wow, he will stiff arm a man and pick up about 2 yards.
Yeah, that was a good stiff arm delivered by Sparlin there, but even despite all his hard work, he only gained about 1.5 yards on that play because he was coming lateral, right? He was going east to west, not north and south, and so that's what Henley wants to do. That stiff arm won't mean all that much once the game is said and done, but stopping him at a 2-yard gain on that same play will, and that's going to bring us to halftime, it looks like.
Yeah, so they'll run out the clock. Yep, they'll run out the clock here in the second quarter. We'll be right back with our halftime show. The Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. We've got so many great sponsors. Harbor Isles sponsors our halftime show.
There we go.
We'll be back after a break with our halftime show. on 104.3 and 960 Sports on mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Welcome back to Henley football as they play the Hidden Valley Mustangs. They lead 34-0 here at halftime. Now it's time for our Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. Harbor Isles exists to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles. We feature the top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. Wow, what a game tonight for the Henley Hornets. Coming off of that loss last week against Cascade Christian, coming into this game and putting up 34 points in the half.
Yeah, this is a big first half for them. Best half of the year so far for Henley in terms of offensive output. They've played clean football so far. They haven't let penalties come back to bite them. They've done well on third down tonight. We can expand on any one of those specific talking points, but they've just played a complete game tonight. Whereas last week, a little bit discombobulated, but they've played well tonight, have the Hornets.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about Henley's special teams. They have forced Hidden Valley to start on the 20-yard line, then the 20-yard line again, then the 17-yard line.
Yeah, they've done a great job of pinning Hidden Valley deep into their own territory. Credit to the Mustangs a little bit, though. They've put together some lengthy drives. They've maintained possession of the football a little bit there in that first quarter specifically. So, just as good as Henley special teams has done, which they've done well, the Henley defense has really impressed me tonight. They're not breaking. They're stepping up. They're making big plays. 2 interceptions, a defensive touchdown as well. I believe 2 defensive touchdowns, had a pick 6 and a scoop and score. So, all 3 phases tonight, Walter. Henley is winning this game, and, well, that's why they're up by 5 touchdowns.
I'll tell you why they're up by 5 touchdowns. They're up by 5 touchdowns from Janny's rush in the first quarter. Then a pick 6 from Jacob Bakke, also in the first quarter. Then a 30-yard passing touchdown from Joe Janney. And then in the second quarter, Reyes, a reception. And then Shively with that scoop and score like we were talking about.
Yeah, like I said, all 3 facets. They're getting defensive touchdowns. They're playing well on special teams. The offense is clicking. It feels like it's been so close. You go back to that game against Marist, even small mistakes. They weren't connecting with their receivers, a lot of dropped passes. I think that was the same story at Thurston, too, where we talked about, they were 1 or 2 plays away from potentially winning that game. Last week's a different story. I think they were outmatched a little bit by Cascade Christian, but the same problems persisted. Dropped passes, miscommunications between Janney and his receivers. There's been none of that tonight. Easy passes in the backfield, screen passes have connected, and then you had that 30-yard bomb. Oh, I've been waiting for one of those from Joe this season. He's been so close so many times. It was great to see it finally connect here tonight.
And obviously, the quality of their opponents do differ.
Sure.
So you got to wonder, maybe that game against Cascade Christian is kind of what they needed to be able to get into this flow, like kind of wake up and say, hey, we still have to play hard even though we do have all of this talent and all of this team chemistry.
Well, let's talk about something that's very real for very good teams, and Henley has been a very good team for a long time. And this, I think you could also say the same thing for a couple of other Henley programs where they've been so good for so long. We're talking about a football team that has made the state championship in each of the last 2 years. For 2 seasons, Walter, they haven't had to bounce back after a 30-point loss. These guys haven't experienced that yet. They haven't had to face that kind of adversity. Well, they bounced back from a 30-point loss so far by putting up 34 points in the first half. That is a great response for a team that hasn't had to face this yet in many years.
Yeah, I think it's also a great wake-up call because you talk about teams being comfortable with a lead. You talk about teams being comfortable winning a lot. Playing a tough team will really wake you up for the start of their league conference season.
It came just in time. You're exactly right. You get to play good here to start league play, have one more road game in front of you going to North Bend. It doesn't get much easier after that either. You talk about still having to play Ashland, still having to play Mazama later on in the season, and the one that I'm looking forward to maybe the most is when they play Marshfield, who's a top 10 team right now. It's hard to get excited. Look so far up to the schedule. You still have a second half to play tonight, but still plenty to be excited about for the Hornets this evening.
Yeah, Marshfield. Actually, we were talking about them. They actually lead the Skyline Conference. They're 4-0. They've scored 176 points and only allowed 66 points from their last 4 opponents.
Now, they are a very well-coached team. And the thing about Marshfield, it is hard to go there and win. They play in, you walk in there and it feels like a palace or a prison. You can't really make out what it is, but it's a hard place to go and play. Mazama is there tonight. I don't have a score update from them yet. But I'm excited to see the Pirates down the line. But first, Hornets need to finish business here in Murphy this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be right back with more Harbor Isle Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show after a quick break and word from our sponsors.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome back to Henley Hornets football, brought to you live from the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Henley leads 34-0 here at halftime. Speaking of halftime, this is the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. Harbor Isles exists to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles. We feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. All right, so coming back into this halftime, we've got a full halftime show here from the band. If you can see that on live video.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a cheer camp action tonight. The Hidden Valley cheer team came out with some of the little kids, put on a good show. Now they've got the drum line out there, the full band. They're really doing up halftime tonight here. It's a little bit of a longer show, so we'll try to fill it in with a couple of things that we know around here. But good show here tonight from Hidden Valley.
Back to football. Marshfield leads the conference at 4-0, 0-0, and as we talked about, they've scored 176-66 against their last 4 opponents.
Yeah, they're a very good team. Looking forward to them down the line.
Henley just coming in second, 1-2 after their losses to Thurston and Cascade Christian. They've scored 76 and allowed 85 points. Ashland, 1-2, 0-0 in league play. Of course, 0-0. This is their first league game for everyone tonight.
Everyone's coming up and playing their first league game this week.
They've scored 54 points and allowed 83 points, but I'm sure that'll change after tonight. You were talking about how they're leading.
Yeah, we got some score updates from some of the teams going on, some of the Basin teams, some of the other teams that are in the top 10 in the state. We'll kind of start macro, and then we'll go into what's happening in the Basin. So first, outside of our conference, top 10 matchup in the state of Oregon according to the coaches poll. That's between Sweet Home and Marist. Got to give credit to Sweet Home, kind of bursting onto the scene this year. They've started, I think, 4-0 on the season. I don't know a lot of people who thought that was going to happen, so credit to them. They're in the top 10.
Number 8 and number 10.
Yeah.
Number 8, Marist, and number 10, Sweet Home.
Marist, and they're tied at halftime. They're both tied at 7. At least that's what I gather right now. So that's a pretty big matchup going on tonight. I believe that's in Eugene. Looking at some of the other games in our league, you brought up Ashland, Walter. They are tied at halftime with North Bend. North Bend is the team that Henley sees next week on the coast. So we'll talk, try to keep you updated on what's going on with the Bulldogs there. Down at Klamath Union High School, it is homecoming tonight for the Pelicans. I saw their halftime parade, their homecoming parade come on downtown. They're playing up the pageantry tonight, but so far the football, it hasn't gone their way. Last I saw, 2.5 minutes about left to go in the second quarter. Cascade Christian, last I saw, 35-0 was the score there. Look, the Challengers are a really, really good team. Don't be surprised if you see them playing deep into November. The Challengers are very, very good.
And as I've asked you before, why did they schedule Cascade Christian for their homecoming weekend?
Well, they don't really get too much of a choice at the end of it. I mean, you can either go now. I mean, take Henley's schedule, for example, right? You've got 4 consecutive road games. Henley's not going to be able to celebrate homecoming until not next week, but the week after. That's just how the football schedule works out. So you plan homecoming when you can. Well, they scheduled a tough opponent for homecoming. I don't think that they were thinking, well, this is going to be a win or it's going to be a loss. They just want to get the dance in. So it's a challenge for sure. Cascade Christian's a really good team. I don't know if the Pelicans are going to have what it takes. I don't know who's going to have what it takes to beat the Challengers this season after what we saw them do to Henley last week.
We saw what number 6 Henley was able to do against Cascade Christian, and take a team like Klamath Union, who's actually a 3A team.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, Klamath Union though, they're on the uptick. They got a couple things working for them. You know, I think for them, I've said it on my show, they just got to get a run game going for themselves, open up that offense a little bit. They'll be in good shape. They're well coached. They got a good staff around them.
Great quarterback, Reese Johnson. Shout out to that guy.
Hey, Reese, I know you went to class with him, so got to give some respect to Reese for sure. A couple of other scores want to get out there at halftime in the 2A classification. Lost River Raiders taking on Culver. That's a league game for Lost River. They're number 1 in the state. Whether you ask the OSAA computers or whether you ask the coaches, they believe in the Raiders. Culver's number 6 in the state at halftime. Hey, that's right, undisputed, number 1. At least right now this week, and it might stay that way because at halftime Raiders are up 24-6. That's a big game. Culver beat Lost River last year at Lost River High School. This year the Raiders are on the road, up big. I like them in that game. Don't have an update for Bonanza. I believe they're playing Illinois Valley tonight, which is actually only about 40 minutes down the road from where we are this evening. So, by the way, did you know Hidden Valley High School, you look behind us, there's the school. We got the softball complex up there. Hidden Valley High School, North Valley High School, Illinois Valley High School, all here in Josephine County, all built around the same time. I believe 1977 they opened, modeled after prisons that never actually got built. I said that about Marshfield earlier, but that's the case here at Hidden Valley. Walter, the classrooms don't have windows. They're just bricks in there. There's no sunlight that gets in there. It gets hot, but let me tell you, I graduated from here. I like it. I still like coming back here, and all the schools are designed exactly the same. So whether you're at HV, NV, or IV, you're looking at the same school. It's kind of a neat story, really.
Neat.
You don't think that's a neat story?
I don't know.
There's lots of neat stories I could clue you in on about Hidden Valley High School, but we'll save that for the car ride back home.
Personally, I like sunlight.
Yeah.
I'm like a plant.
Okay.
I like sunlight.
Photosynthesis. Okay, that's how he grows. Big and tall.
Illinois Valley, that's kind of misleading when you think about it. I'm like, oh, wow, they're going all the way to Illinois Bonanza, 2A team. What are we doing?
Just a few minutes down the road in a town they call Cave Junction, Oregon, still here in Josephine County. You know, I got to bring up one more thing about Hidden Valley and some of the things these kids have to face that isn't necessarily the case back in Klamath Falls. You talked about comparing some of these schools a little bit between Hidden Valley and Henley and that they're both rural and all of these things. Where these kids live at Hidden Valley is really all over. This county buses kids further from home to school, combined mileage, than anywhere else in the entire state. So it takes a lot to bring these kids together. It's a good program here at Hidden Valley. Might be a little bit down this year, but never count out someone who lives orange and bleeds blue, Walter.
Hidden Valley, where even the home games are away games.
Yeah, it could be true in some cases. Got one more score update from Klamath Union before we continue talking about this game here tonight, where Henley leads 34-0. KU is trailing Cascade Christian 42-0, and it looks like Cross Point Christian added another touchdown. They're up 40-8 at halftime against Chiloquin.
I've still got faith. Go Pels.
There we go. Yeah, I'll allow it. I'll allow it for now. As a KU graduate, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
So it's a longer halftime show tonight. It's going to be something that we run into a little bit longer as we go kind of into homecoming and senior night season. But it's always a good opportunity to be able to dissect these teams a little bit more. Hidden Valley has already come out of their halftime locker room. They're already warming up out there. It was probably a quick meeting for them in the locker room. What more can you really say except try to contain the quarterback a little bit? And like I said, they did okay on offense. They put some good drives together. They're down big, but I don't think they did a whole lot wrong per se in that first half, just a little bit outmatched. So they're out here getting warmed up early on a cold night. I think that might be what they need to get moving.
Yeah, I don't know what Henley has to talk about either. Up 34-0 here in the half. Maybe they're just trying to keep warm.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up this big, that could also be something that they're trying to do. Want to stay warm, don't need to get out and warm up as much. I'll be curious, and we'll talk about this as we get closer to the third quarter. Still got a couple more breaks to go here, but I'll be curious how long guys decide to be kept in the game. You know, like you said, we saw Derek Cox at the end of last game. Saw him a little bit against Maris, too. He's a guy that Henley wants to get snaps to. And there's a couple other underclassmen that have been big parts of the second half for the Hornets game. So now for Henley, goal is keep everyone healthy, and you got a big game next week on the coast. Close this one out clean, up big, no reason to do anything crazy, and now we finally see them emerge from the halftime locker room.
Yeah, you talked about Derek Cox, He was a big player for Henley baseball, a starter on varsity as a freshman, and this year he's on varsity football as a sophomore.
Yeah, and, you know, the baseball team, this is kind of adding on to the point I made earlier. Baseball team made it to the semifinal last year for Henley. It's another one of those things where they didn't have to face a ton of adversity in terms of big losses. I'm really impressed with how Henley has come out today, seemingly shaken off that last loss. I know you talked a little bit to Coach Matt Green before the game. It sounded like it was still egging on a little bit before the game started tonight. But, man, I'm sure that trip to Gary Wheeler Field last week is far out of memory, and he's got to feel good about how his team is lining up tonight.
Yeah, it seems like he's taken his frustrations out on this game so far with excellent play calling, and up 34-0. Can't really say much else better about Matt Green.
No, he's done a great job taking over this program and continuing to run with it after Coach Stork stepped away. Still a defensive coordinator for the team, but Coach Green's done a great job, and the Hornets are very well coached. And, well, they're up big here at halftime.
All right, we'll be back with more Harbor Isles Fitness and Tennis Club halftime show here on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
She donates all of her money to, here we go.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome back to Henley Football. We bring this broadcast to you live from Hidden Valley High School here in Grants Pass, Oregon. We're here at the Evergreen Field. Henley leads 34-0 coming into the third quarter, presented by God's Gifts Photography. Are you a parent of a high school athlete? Tired of trying to take good photos and keep up with the action? There is a solution. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more.
You know, we were out at Henley Volleyball last night, Walter, and I saw so many parents in the fans trying to take photos of their kids on the court, and it does frankly look like a challenge to try to watch, take those pictures, make sure your kid is in frame. Just talk to Annalisa. She'll take care of you. She's got openings for a lot of the home games in the Basin, like you said, on Facebook, God's Gifts too. She takes great photos. A lot of the ones you see on our website, on mybasin.com, are taken by her, so she does a great job.
Well, and she doesn't just do sports photography. She actually took our family photos. She did a great job. Took them at Moore Park.
I've seen her do wedding photos. I've seen her do graduation photos. I've seen her do all kinds of stuff. So she does a great job.
Great person as well. I actually used to attend church at the same church that she goes to. She spends a lot of her time cleaning up and giving back to her community
and even this, God's Gifts Photography, there is a fee involved, but she keeps none of the money. She donates it all to people who are struggling to make ends meet in other countries. I believe some countries in Africa as well. She gives it all back to people who need it the most. It's a great service.
All right, back to football. The Mustangs are about to kick it off to start this second half.
One thing that Henley did really good in that first half was playing on third down. Third down was where they lost last week, and consistently at that. This week, they're consistently winning on third down. They're getting off the field on third down. They're converting on third down on offense. It's allowed them to keep control of the football. It's something that we talked a little bit in the early part of the game. Ball control is a big part of this game, and being able to dictate the tempo and the momentum. That's been all Hornets tonight, and it's evident on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so last drive for the Hornets, they had 5 plays, 4 first downs, and a touchdown. And they will also receive the ball coming into the second half.
Yeah, good chance to add on the lead here. Walter, want to get a score out there. I misspoke during halftime. Sweet Home and Marist, those couple of top 10 teams we were talking about, they've reached halftime. Sweet Home's leading the Spartans 20-7 at halftime.
Wow,
big,
the defending state champions, by the way.
Yeah, big game for Sweet Home tonight. Here we go.
Here we go. The ball is kicked off. That's fielded at around the 20-yard line, brought up to the 30, finds a hole, spins, ballerina move down at the 35-yard line. Not a bad way to start for the Hornets.
Yeah, Rias proving hard to take down. I think that was Thompson who finally brought him down here on the near side of the field, but doing a great job of staying on his feet, and Rias with a good return. 1st and 10, Henley to start the third quarter.
Yeah, so Henley will start at the 35-yard line with 11 minutes and 51 seconds left to go. They lead the Hidden Valley Mustangs 34-0.
Like to see Henley get out, run the football a little bit, continue to dictate the pace, play as they want to, and keep that clock moving.
All right, Janney lines up in the backfield with Kundal to his right side, trips out to the right, one to the left. He goes back to pass, sets his feet, fires over the middle. It's deep. That's caught. Big reception, and that's a touchdown for Henley, the first play of the drive coming out of halftime. That was Kai Montag with the touchdown.
5 yards for Joe Janney. Forget what I have to say, Walter. No ball control, no running the football. 1 play for 6. Yes, sir, Kai Montag, it's your turn to touch a deep ball from Joe Janney and add to the lead.
This is exactly what you were talking about coming into this game. What you said that you wanted to see was a deep connection from Janney and his receivers.
And that was the second time they've done it so far this game. That was a great job. And like we said, Kai Montag on that catch. He's been a good deep threat tonight. I said he was a good safety valve earlier. That time showing off he can be a deep threat as well. Nice job there for Kai.
So Henley leads 40-0 with 11 minutes and 41 seconds left on the clock. Rias will kick that one in, and it's good. He's now 5 for 6 from the PAT. It is now 41-0. Henley leads. We'll be right back after a quick break and a word from our sponsors here on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Welcome back to Henley Hornet football, brought live to you from Hidden Valley High School in Grants Pass, Oregon. The Hornets take on the Hidden Valley Mustangs. They've just scored, making it 41-0 with 11 minutes and 41 seconds left in the third quarter.
1 play, 65 yards, and 6 points for the Hornets. That was Kai Montag's touchdown reception. And Hidden Valley a chance to just try to put a drive together and feel confident on offense. You're not going to get it all back right here, but a scoring drive would be nice for the Mustangs.
Henley kicks that one off. It's on the turf, fielded at around the 20-yard line. Henley's all over him. He's brought down with forward progress at around the 12-yard line. Good play again for the Henley special teams. As we mentioned, had Hidden Valley down to the 20-yard line, the 20-yard line, the 17-yard line, and now the 12-yard line.
Yeah, they were helped out a little bit by Noah Kimball, and he wasn't able to field that one exactly cleanly. And as he makes his way back to the sideline, he feels that one a little bit. That's 3 consecutive kickoffs that he hasn't been able to bring up cleanly, and it pins Hidden Valley back well in their own territory. The Hornets have operated well. They've played aggressive defense tonight. They've gone after the Hidden Valley quarterback, made the backup feel uncomfortable. Look for more of the same here on this defensive drive for Henley.
So Barnes will send him in motion. There's a whistle and a flag on the play. I think that's a false start.
Yeah, I think I saw the far side official signal a false start. I did see some Hornets jump up front. It's just a matter of who moved first.
Who started it?
Yeah, that's what we're going to find out. There was kind of a similar situation against Cascade Christian last week. The officials talked about it, and it wound up going against Henley. But let's see. Here he goes, the white cap emerging. I think that might be illegal participation for Henley. So this one, again, it's going against the Hornets.
Okay, as we mentioned at halftime, they cleaned up their act in the first half. Coming out after scoring on the first play of the drive, now they're into some penalties here.
Yeah, you want to clean it up. It doesn't end up hurting you too bad right now, but you're not going to be up 41-0, this early too often. Walter, I also want to make note before we get this play started. 35-0. That's the motion for a running clock. That's where we're at rest of the second half.
Okay, good to know. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so Barnes will throw that one over the middle, and that's brought down at around the 39-yard line. First down and more. About a 20-yard play for the Mustangs. That's Davis with the reception.
Yeah, he's on a couple nice plays tonight. Couple of nice passes over the middle. He's a sure-handed target. Kelton Davis is a senior for the Mustangs. Number 1 out there. He's had a couple nice pass receptions tonight.
Okay, so 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Mustangs. They line up 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 man in the backfield with Barnes. Barnes sets his feet, fires. That was Sparlin, the intended receiver on the play. A little wheel route from the running back, and that's incomplete. So 2nd and 10 with a running clock counting down to 8:55. They're down 41-0.
I got to make a point, Walter, is something that I didn't really think about coming out of halftime. I think the reason why Henley went for that deep pass right away is to get the game into a running clock. And so a little bit smarter than I was Coach Matt Green. No surprise there.
2-by-2 action from the Mustangs. They'll hand that one off to Sparlin up the middle. He's met by the whole front line from Henley, making it 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs.
It's been hard for Sparlin to get anything going out of the backfield, running up the middle. Hidden Valley had some success trying to get around the outside a little bit. They had a lot of success running the ball with the quarterback in that first half. Like I said, there was a couple QB power plays that were real nice, designed keepers, load options. Hidden Valley hasn't gone to that yet here in the third quarter, but 3rd and 9, they just might.
3rd and 9, 2-by-2 from the Mustangs. They've got Sparlin in the backfield with Barnes. Barnes sets his feet. They try to go for the same play. That's tipped by number 63 for Henley. That's Hart. Great play.
Got his paw in the way, and he's fired up about it. Love when the linemen get to touch the football. They don't often get to do that, Walter, but when the big man gets his hands on the pigskin, it's a good day.
Great day. I always watch those compilations on YouTube when those big boys get the interception.
There was a score in the NFL a couple weeks ago, a big scoop in the score, and the big man got moving. Those are my favorite plays in football.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, they said he reached 18 miles an hour as a big man, like 350 pounds. That's fun to watch.
Man, almost illegal in a school zone at that rate.
Yeah. All right, so the Mustangs will line up 1 receiver out wide to the left, 1 to the right. They'll look to punt. Excuse me. They've got a man for Henley to receive. They've got a man at the 20-yard line. That's Rias. He'll pick it up at around the 25-yard line. Going up the right sideline, he's got blockers. He's tripped up, stays on his feet, and is tackled at around the 43-yard line.
Man, that almost broke big. Rias is nimble. I love watching him run with the football. A good return. Rias, 5'9", 150 pounds. He is nimble out there, staying on his feet after taken by 1 defender. Wound up getting gobbled up by some Mustangs on the far sideline, but still a solid return.
Yeah, great return. I thought he was down for sure, but he's able to keep his balance and keep that play alive.
Yeah, wound up being about 23 yards on that return, and another kind of situation where he had to pick it up off the turf. Didn't catch that one. It was kicked over his head, but a good job to recover, bring it up for 23 yards, giving Henley good field position, similar to where they started their last drive. That was over in 1 play. We'll see what Henley decides to do here.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before, the clock is ticking down. So Henley will start their drive with 6 minutes and 3 seconds left on the clock, leading 41-0 here in the third quarter. Janney takes the snap, hands that one off. That one's Brunick, brought down at around the 49-yard line.
I think that might have been Townsend on the carry, getting a couple of guys out here. Walter, I'll try to help you recognize some of these underclassmen who are out there tonight for the Hornets. I see Henry Four out there, junior for Henley. Let's see, a couple of new guys up front. Cole Yarnell, a senior. We'll try our best, but it looks like with this running clock situation, Henley has gone to the reserves, and I think that's Derek Cox in at QB as well.
It's always fun to watch Derek Cox play, whether it's football or it's baseball. He's just a fun guy to watch, electric. And this time he'll load up for a pass, just overthrew his receiver a little bit. 3rd and 5 for the Hornets.
That was A.J. Patsky, intended target. Another one of these reserve guys coming in. A sophomore, 5'10". Just a little bit short on that route, but not a bad route. He was open, and so he ran a good route, and that was just a case of the quarterback Cox not being able to find him cleanly, but that's why you get these reps in these varsity games. Even though the game is maybe out of reach, important reps for these backups for Henley.
So Henley will line up with 3 out to the wide to the right, 1 out wide to the left. Derek Cox will set his feet with pressure, and no receiver found in that area.
Yeah, that one sailed on him a little bit, just overthrew his man. But like I said, that's why these plays are important. You're not going to get varsity game reps unless you're getting varsity game reps. And so good opportunity here for some of these guys to just try to find that connection against good players in Hidden Valley. And I'm sure they're going to get some of their reserves in as well.
You got to give them some props. It's hard to come into a game and just already be warmed up. It takes a while to get the juices flowing, get the rhythm down.
It certainly does. Looks like Henley's content to go for it here on 4th down.
4th and 5, they'll line up 3 out wide to the right, 1 out wide to the left. Cox takes the snap, sets his feet, throws deep. Again, this time it's through the hands of his intended receiver. That'll be a turnover on downs, and the Mustangs will have the ball around the 46-yard line.
Yeah, good opportunity here for Hidden Valley to try to make something happen for themselves. But good pass there by Derek to get that ball downfield, hit his man in the hands. Just got to finish that last step of that play, which is bring it in close to the chest for the catch. But ultimately a turnover on downs. First time tonight Henley's turned the ball over on downs, and again, just another thing that they've cleaned up from last week to this week. They turned the ball over twice on downs in only the first quarter last week. Here it's taken them most of the way through the third quarter before turning the ball over on downs even once.
Yeah, so the Mustangs will start at around the 48-yard line. Barnes fires out to his left side. That's caught on a knee, but there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, Hidden Valley is a little bit frustrated about that one. There was a couple of different points where there was some miscommunications. There was, I believe, just the illegal formation there for the Mustangs. Someone didn't know if they were going to go out wide or in motion. Someone false started, I think, because of it. So just kind of a series of unfortunate events there for the Mustangs. They'll have to take it behind the sticks as they replay first down.
So 2 minutes.
Let me stand corrected. Sorry. Henley declined that penalty, so they're taking it back a few yards. It's actually about 2nd and 13. Walter, sorry about that.
No, you're good. I was just going to mention how quickly the game is going now that the clock is running. There's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter when Henley leads 41-0. They'll send a man in motion, and that's who they hand it off to. That's Davis with the carry, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Great play up front from Henley there.
There was a little extracurricular activities happening in the backfield there. I don't know if you saw that, Walter, but certainly want to clean that up. Hidden Valley linemen kind of just land on top of a Henley player who was out of the play. So official getting involved with that one was unnecessary, to say the very least.
Well, you know, these two teams, they care a lot about their athletics, and they're very hot-blooded. So I'm not surprised to see a lot of penalties and extracurricular activity happening on the field tonight.
I like it. Hot-blooded. Certainly a way to describe the Mustangs.
The Mustangs line up with 3 out wide to the right, 1 out wide to the left. They've got Scarlin in the backfield with Barnes. Barnes fires out to the sideline. That's dropped by O'Driscoll.
O'Driscoll's a big target out there. He got his hands on the football. I wasn't able to see who delivered the hit, but it was the hit that jarred the ball loose. O'Driscoll had both hands on it and then got wrapped up around the waist, twisted around, and thrown to the ground. Couldn't bring in the football all the way. Good tackle. Again, couldn't quite see who it was for Henley, but he should get props in the film session.
Seeing O'Driscoll out there in number 17 in the blue jersey kind of reminds me of Josh Allen. Like, when I look over there, I'm like, oh, that's Josh Allen.
I can see that. Yeah, the Mustangs uniforms certainly look similar to Buffalo, that's for sure.
So the Mustangs get set to punt. The snap is perfectly into the chest of Davis. High punt. That's fumbled off the hands. They'll have to fall on it. Oh, it's out. Picked up at around the 12-yard line. Tough field position to start the drive for Henley. Although The clock is running out. 25, 24, 23 left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
They'll just let it run.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That'll probably bring us to the end. Got to make a couple points. We have about 15 seconds. Good punt there from Hidden Valley. Their special teams has done okay, especially on the punt. That was about a 50-yard punt there again for their punter. Henley, though, for them, got to just fall on that football. You feel pressure, can't pick it up and run on it. Just got to fall on it. They were bailed out there, and they'll start possession as we get ready for the fourth quarter here in just a moment.
We'll be ready. We'll be back with more fourth quarter action. Please come back and watch the rest of this game here on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Welcome back to Henley Football, brought live to you from Hidden Valley High School in Grants Pass, Oregon. The Hornets lead the Hidden Valley Mustangs, 41-0 here in this fourth quarter. The clock is running because of the mercy rule, and what we saw there was a nice little carry from Henley to gain about 4 yards, making it 2nd and 6 here to start this drive. They've got Derek Cox in, the sophomore for Henley, playing these minutes, getting these reps in for future quarterback success. He'll have to keep that one himself. He breaks a tackle, gets past another man, then he's wrapped up at around the 20-yard line. Gain of about 2 or 3 yards. 3rd and 3.
That was a designed keeper there for Derek. Not a bad job getting the ball upfield a little bit, making it 3rd and manageable. He got around one defender, put the juke move on him, so I like that. And Hornets looking to collect a first down, Walter. Just again, for the folks who may have missed it, running clock here in the fourth quarter. When the margin is 35 or greater in Oregon, the clock only stops for touchdowns and timeouts. So otherwise, the clock is going to keep moving here.
All right, so 3rd and 3 for the Hornets. Cox will take the snap, hand that one off. He's met behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of about 1 or 2 yards on that play.
It'll bring up 4th down, and good job by the guys up front there for Hidden Valley. Want to see if we got some new faces for them as well. See Carter Smith up there, a sophomore. Let's see, also see Devin Douglas. He's a senior. I believe he's been starting. And a couple other new faces out there for Hidden Valley.
So Henley, being at the 15-yard line, will opt to punt this time. And back to receive for the Mustangs at around the 50-yard line is Noah Kimball, the guy who we saw, the player, who we saw with a couple of returns for the Hornets. He looks to make up for it here. And the punt is rolling on the ground at around the 30, picked up at around the 35-yard line by Henley.
That was a fantastic punt. I believe that was Joe Janney on the punt there, unleashing it around the 10 in their own territory. That rolls all the way up to inside the 35. It just kept on going. Great punt there for Joe, up over 50 yards for sure.
Yeah, so Hidden Valley will start this drive at around the 35-yard line with the clock counting down at 9:10, 9:09, 9:08. Okay, so Hidden Valley will take the field. They'll be looking to score on this drive.
Important for them to just try to piece together a good drive. Their first drive of the game was so good, just ended with an interception. For the Mustangs' sake, I want to see another one of those drives. Get up close to 6, 7, 8 plays.
So the ball is tossed and received behind the line of scrimmage and then brought up about 2 yards. It's going to bring up about 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs.
That was Gage Gamby out there for Hidden Valley, a freshman on the roster. A couple of freshmen for Hidden Valley on the roster tonight. That's the first time we've called Gamby's name, number 20 out there for Hidden Valley.
Okay, so Barnes lines up with 3 receivers out wide to his right, 1 to the left. He sets his feet, throws into 2 defenders. That was O'Driscoll with the reception. They gained about 3-4 yards on that play. And they'll say he got the first down.
O'Driscoll's a good target for the Mustangs. I would have liked to see them use him more this game. It feels like they've only really started to target him here in the second half. He's a junior. He was listed as a starter, at least as far as I could tell. But he's been a good target tonight for the few different Hidden Valley quarterbacks we've seen. Remember, their starter went out early, and so they've had to kind of piece it together. O'Driscoll's been a nice safety valve for him.
He's a big guy.
He's a big target. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's got a nice wingspan, able to get those balls. They'll send a man in motion, 1 receiver out wide to the right, 3 to the left. They'll hand that one off to Sparling, and he's down 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Cole Yarnell in on the tackle that time for Henley. And a nice job to wrap him up, bring him down in the backfield. Running back for Hidden Valley there did not really have anywhere to go. Tried to bounce around to the outside. That's when Yarnell locked him up from behind and drug him down. So a nice tackle there for a loss for Henley.
So 12-2 for the Mustangs. Or, excuse me, 2nd and 12 for the Mustangs. Got those mixed around.
That's all right.
Anyways, the clock is counting down at 7:32. Currently, Henley leads 41-0. Barnes calls for the snap, plants his feet, throws out to a wheel route. Sparlin leads him a little bit too much. 3rd and 12 for the Mustangs.
And they've been trying to go to that just quick pass to the near sideline as Hidden Valley hasn't been there so far for them tonight. There hasn't been a lot of opportunity for Hidden Valley. The Hornets' defensive front and their linebackers have done a good job of stopping things at the line of scrimmage. Walter, we don't have live stats for this game, unfortunately, but I would be curious to see what Hidden Valley's rushing totals are at right now because Henley's done a great job of stuffing them so far tonight.
0 for 3 on 3rd down. They'll go for it this time. They've got O'Driscoll out wide to the left. Barnes plants his feet. Hits a man. That's O'Leary. He's able to break a tackle, and another one comes at him. 4th and 14 for the Mustangs.
Really great open field tackle for the Hornets on the far side. I'm trying so hard to make out his number so far away, but he broke down and did it just like they teach you. That might have been Derek Cox over there on the far side, playing a little safety on both sides of the ball. Great tackle there. Love to see it from some of the backups, bringing up 4th down here for Hidden Valley.
And the Mustangs deciding that it's 4th down territory here. They'll go for it.
I think they might be opting to punt. It looks like they are. Hidden Valley.
Excuse me.
That's all right. They're going to give away the football here late in this one.
Oh, the snap is over the head. He'll have to pick it up and run with it. He's able to evade about half of the Henley defense, but eventually brought down at around the 22-yard line. You know, that was reminiscent of a play that we saw last week.
Yeah, Henley had a couple of those happen to them last week where that high snap. Credit to, I believe that was number 1 there for Hidden Valley. Kelton Davis said his name a few times tonight. He picked it up, did everything he could. He actually brought it up for another 10 or 15 yards, but well short of the marker. It was a broken play from the start. Henley did a good job of not letting him get all of it back, and now they have some really good starting field position here late in the 4th quarter. 4:09 and counting in a 41-0 ball game.
Oh, that gave me some deja vu right there.
You know, the first game I ever called, Walter, you'll like this, first football game I ever called, standing right here in this position, is, I believe, the homecoming game in 2018 for Hidden Valley, a night where the Klamath Union Pelicans came to town and beat the Mustangs 56-0.
KU?
Yes.
Klamath Union?
Yeah, well,
My
you don't
Klamath
remember.
Union?
You don't remember what Hidden Valley was like about 8 years ago. We struggled, but well, Henley's here coming to town trying to do their best as well.
Cox takes the snap, fires over, hits the helmet of his receiver. That's number 12, Porter Frost, with the intended receiver on the play.
Love seeing Porter Frost out there. He's a multi-sport athlete for Henley. Played a little baseball for the Hornets this past summer. And, he's a good role player. Got to say, for the baseball team, not a guy who got in the starting lineup a bunch, was more so used as a courtesy runner during the baseball season, but everyone's got their role, and Henley baseball wound up in the state semifinal this year, thanks in no small part to Porter Frost.
Henley lines up in a 2-by-2 formation. Derek Cox takes the snap. This time he'll hand that one off up the middle. There's a flag on the play. The running back on the play was number 25, Stephen Cassidy.
Good fundamental tackle there for Hidden Valley. It's number 53 out there. Unfortunately, I don't have a 53 on my roster, but it was a good tackle, brought him down at the waist, and I think this flag is going against Henley as well, so a little double benefit there for the Mustangs.
Yeah, they called a holding call on that play. But the clock is running down. 2:23, 2:22, 2:21, down to 2:20. The Henley Hornets still lead 41-0 here deep into Mustang territory.
Now, Henley has done a good job playing a different kind of game here in the second half. They've won the mind game, I think, over Hidden Valley a little bit. Mustangs, they're clearly frustrated. They're getting a little chippy out there. Henley, it's rolling off the shoulder right now. They're in control.
The Hornets line up with one receiver to the left, two to the right. Cox will take the snap. Great snap. Quarterback keeper. He'll run it up to about the 25-yard line and almost make the first down. No, excuse me, almost get back to the original starting position.
There's a good option keeper there for Cox. Not sure if it was an option or if it was a designed keeper for him, but it was Jacob McIntyre, a freshman for Hidden Valley. He read the option really well, but then he gets stuck on an island facing a quarterback. Whether it's Joe Janney or whether it's Derek Cox, that's not a position any defender wants to be in. Even though he read the option well, that's a tough play to make, and he did so fairly well.
Henley lines up two receivers out wide to the left, one to the right. Cox this time will hand it off to number 11. That's Pena on the play, and he's brought down near the original starting yard marker, and it's going to be about 4th and 10, 4th and 11 for the Hornets.
Now, Henley can let this clock run out, and it would bring them to about 18 seconds left on the game clock. We're in under a minute now. So, Henley, do you kick a field goal here? Do you give a punt? Do you run a play? Do you try to just run out these last 18 seconds? Kind of decision time here, but ultimately I'd go with the safe option, maybe try to kick it through the uprights, see how far Rias can maybe boot it, but it looks like the offense is ready to go. Whether they're going to run a play or take a knee, we'll see.
Well, they are deep into Mustang territory. Derek Cox will line up with three receivers to his right, a bunch formation to his left, one man to his right. He'll keep it himself, and he's got blockers, a hole, makes it through into the end zone. Touchdown Henley, making it 47-0. Touchdown for Derek Cox.
Got to give credit to two young men on that play for Henley. Henry Four, a junior, threw a great block on that play. Also senior Lucas McCormick. Those two guys sealed off the defenders for Hidden Valley, gave Derek Cox that perfect hole to go right through, and as time expires, Henley adds some more points. And let's see, are they just going to line up? We're going to kick the extra point. Seems fairly meaningless at this point. It looks like we're going to stick with a final score of 47-0.
Henley wins 47-0. We'll be right back with some post-game action here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games all around the county. Specifically when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Welcome back to Henley Football. Brought live. Tonight's broadcast was brought live to you from Hidden Valley High School here in Grants Pass, Oregon. Henley High School won 47-0 against the Hidden Valley Mustangs. We'll talk about it more during our Pacific Power, we'll talk about our Pacific Power play of the game, and then we'll break down what happened this game. Pacific Power. The mission of the Pacific Power Foundation is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the past 5 years, the foundation has awarded over $13 million to nonprofit organizations.
All right, my Pacific Power play of the game tonight, Walter. I'm going to have to go with the pick six we saw somewhere in that first half. It was a pick six. You have who caught that pick six and brought it back?
Bakke.
That was Jacob Bakke. So he had a great play, but I remember that play started up front. Got to give a shout-out to the big man who made it happen, Brody Fullerton, who got his hands on the quarterback, forced him into a bad throw. I think that was the beginning of the end for Hidden Valley tonight. That's going to be my pick for the Pacific Power play of the game. What do you got?
Okay, so for my Pacific Power play of the game, I'm going to go with the Kai Montag 65-yard reception, their connection from Joe Janney. They started at the 35-yard line coming out of half. The very first play at the 35-yard line is just a reception to Kai Montag. He had all the separation in the world, used his speed, got the job done, started the clock to get it moving.
Yeah, no, that was actually a really big play. We kind of talked about it. That's what got us into a moving clock and has us out of here out of Grants Pass at a decent hour, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. Great game for Henley tonight. Great bounce back from the loss against Cascade Christian last week.
Yeah, they ought to feel great about this one. After, I think, I don't know about you, but I got so many questions about, what went wrong for Henley last week against Cascade Christian. And I said it was hard to pinpoint exactly what it was. Whatever it was, they worked through it this last week in practice, and they came out in a big way. They were favorites coming into this one. I don't think anyone would deny that Henley was the favorite coming in to face an 0-3 Hidden Valley team. You never predict a 47-0 shutout win on the road. Henley showed us why, despite these last couple of weeks, a couple of setbacks, they are still one of the very best teams in the state of Oregon.
Yeah, you talk about manifesting success, and they've been working hard all week at practice, trying to manifest this win. And some people foresaw a win from Henley, but as you were saying, 47-0, great bounce back, great confidence builder for Henley. We'll be right back with the end of our post-game show here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
the innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Clown Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Clown Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Welcome back to Henley football. Bottom line, Henley wins 47-0 against the Hidden Valley Mustangs on the road. Big thank you to head coach Matt Green from Henley, head coach Nathan Scott from the Hidden Valley, and athletic director Sam Osofsky for setting us up here at the field.
Hey, I also want to give a shout out to a guy who wasn't here tonight, but here in spirit, Kevin Petrick, usually the guy who's on this color roll, able to watch his nephew tonight back home, so always nice to get Kevin. He was sharing scores to us. Also got to give a shout out to Lewis and giving us some scores tonight as well. It's really a team effort on this broadcast. Anyone who can help, want to make sure you're recognized. So also want to give a shout out to Kevin and Lewis back home in the Basin.
Yeah, we love you, Kevin. We miss you. We're excited to see you up in North Bend. Tune in next week for North Bend Henley matchup.
Yeah, it should be a good one next week over in North Bend on the coast. Really excited for that one.
Okay, so bottom line, Henley wins 47-0 on the road. Big thank you to Hidden Valley for setting us up here. And to Henley, we'll see you next week at North Bend. From Josh Eldridge and Walter Hartley and MyBasin.com, good night.